3 weeks later, the Harmony's Edge reached Starbase 7. The ship looked terrible. Hull plates were missing. Temporary repairs covered holes in the sides. The engines worked, but they made strange noises that worried everyone who heard them. Engineer. Kim Tae-woo was alive, but barely. Dr. Park So-jin had worked miracles to keep him breathing. The radiation had damaged his body in ways that would take months to heal. But he was getting stronger every day. Captain Lee Dae-ho stood in the medical bay, watching Tae-woo sleep. The young engineer had saved all their lives. He deserved to. "Recover in peace, Captain," a voice said behind him. Lee turned to see Thekvar approaching. The big Kethmar looked different now. Less proud, more thoughtful. "How is he doing?" Thekvar asked, looking at Tae-woo. "Better. Park says he'll make a full recovery. It will take time, but he's tough." "Tough." Thekvar repeated the word slowly. "Yes. I am beginning to understand what that means for humans." They stood in comfortable silence for a moment. Then, Thekvar said, "Captain, I must speak with you about something important." "What is it?" "My people. We have been wrong about humans. Very wrong." Lee raised an eyebrow. "How so?" Thekvar's 4 hands moved nervously. "We thought you were weak because your bodies are soft. We thought you were cowards because you avoid direct confrontation. We thought your technology was inferior because it breaks easily. And now? Now I understand that we were seeing only the surface. Your bodies are soft, but your spirits are hard as steel. You avoid confrontation when possible, but you face impossible odds when necessary. Your technology breaks, but you can fix it with anything." Dr. Park appeared beside them. "How's our patient?" she asked. "Sleeping peacefully," Lee replied. "Park, Thekvar was just telling me about his people's changing opinions of humans." Park looked interested. "Really? What do you think of us now?" Thekvar was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, "We call ourselves Deathworlders because we come from Morthak. Our world has heavy gravity, active volcanoes, and dangerous predators. We became strong to survive these things." "That makes sense," Park said. "Deathworld. But not because of gravity or volcanoes." "Then why?" Park asked, though she thought she knew the answer. "Because nothing on Earth stays the same. Your climate changes. Your continents move. Your species appear and disappear. Ice ages come and go. Diseases spread and evolve. Disasters strike without warning." Thekvar's voice grew stronger as he spoke. "My people learned to survive one type of danger. We became specialists. But your people learned to survive every type of danger. You became adaptable." Lee nodded slowly. "That's an interesting way to look at it." "It is more than interesting, it is the truth." Thekvar looked back at the sleeping Tae-woo. "When our technology fails, we are helpless. When your technology fails, you make new technology from spare parts and hope." Dr. Park smiled. "Hope is important." "Yes, and that is the greatest difference between us. My people prepare for dangers we know about. Your people prepare for dangers they have never seen before." The 3 of them left the medical bay and walked toward the bridge. The ship was quiet now. Most repairs were finished. They would reach Earth in another 2 weeks. On the bridge, Navigator Choi Yu-na was plotting their course home. She looked up as they entered. "Captain, I've received a message from the Kethamar High Command. They want to meet with you when we reach Earth." "What about?" Lee asked. Thekvar answered. "They want to discuss a formal alliance between our peoples. Not just trade or science, but full partnership." "That's a big change from 3 weeks ago," Park observed. 3 weeks ago, we thought we had nothing to learn from humans," Thekvar admitted. "Now we realize we have everything to learn." Yuna pulled up the star charts on the main screen. "What specifically do they want to learn?" "Your engineering methods," Thekvar said. "How you design systems that can be repaired under any conditions. How you make decisions quickly when you don't have all the information. How you work together when everything goes wrong. Most importantly," he continued, "they want to understand how you stay calm when facing certain death. This is a skill that even Deathworlders from Morthak do, not possess. Captain Lee sat in his command chair. And what do we get from this alliance? Knowledge of the deep galaxy. There are ancient ruins on many worlds, not just ours. Artifacts like the one we found. Some are dangerous, but others contain technology that could benefit everyone. Your people would trust humans with such knowledge? Park asked. Thekvar made a sound that might have been laughter. Dr. Park, we have seen what humans do when faced with impossible odds. You do not conquer or destroy. You adapt and overcome. You find ways to make things work. A new voice joined the conversation. It was Morgeth, the Kethmar science officer. He had been quiet during most of their journey, but now he stepped forward. I have been studying human history during our voyage, Morgeth said. Your species has survived ice ages, asteroid impacts, supervolcanic eruptions, and mass extinctions. Each time you not only survived but became stronger. We've had some help from luck, Lee said modestly. No, Morgeth said firmly. Luck does not last for millions of years. You survived because you learned to adapt. When the world changed, you changed with it. When old methods failed, you invented new ones. He gestured toward the screen showing their route home. Other species, including mine, succeed by becoming perfect at one thing. You succeed by becoming adequate at everything. This makes you more dangerous than any predator, more durable than any armor. Dr. Park found this amusing. Dangerous? Us? Oh yes, Thekvar said seriously. Any species that can jury-rig a starship engine from kitchen equipment and artificial gravity generators is extremely dangerous. Not because you will attack others, but because you will survive anything. Yuna laughed. I never thought of cooking equipment as a weapon before. Everything is a weapon to humans, Morgeth observed. Or rather, everything is a tool. And humans can make tools work in ways their creators never imagined. Engineer Kim Tae-woo's voice came over the communicator from the medical bay. He was awake and listening. Are you calling us crazy? Yes, Thekvar said without hesitation. Wonderfully, brilliantly, usefully crazy. The kind of crazy that walks into radiation chambers to save friends. The kind of crazy that fixes impossible problems with impossible solutions. The kind of crazy, Morgeth added, that makes other species feel safe. Because if humans are with you, somehow everything will work out. Dr. Park felt touched by this assessment. Thank you. That might be the nicest thing anyone has ever said about our species. It is also the most accurate, Thekvar said. My people have decided to make a formal announcement when we reach Earth. We will declare humans to be honorary Kethmar. You will be recognized as Deathworlders. Captain Lee was surprised. That's quite an honor. It is the highest honor we can give, and it comes with responsibilities. What kind of responsibilities? Thekvar's expression became serious. There are other species in the galaxy. Some are peaceful like yours and mine, but others are not. They conquer and destroy. They take what they want without asking. And you want us to help stop them? We want you to do what you do best. Adapt, survive, find solutions that no one else can see. Make the impossible possible. Yuna looked up from her navigation console. So we're going from being underestimated weaklings to being the galaxy's problem solvers? You were always problem solvers, Morgeth said. We just failed to recognize it. As the Harmony's Edge continued its journey home, the crew reflected on how much had changed. They had started as reluctant partners with aliens who looked down on them. They were returning as respected allies of a powerful species, but more than that, they had proven something important about humanity. They had shown that strength comes in many forms. Physical power is just one type of strength. The ability to adapt, to improvise, to sacrifice for others, to never give up. These were strengths that could overcome any obstacle. Kim Tae-woo appeared on the bridge, walking slowly but steadily. Dr. Park stayed close beside him, ready to help if he stumbled. How are you feeling? Captain Lee asked. Like I got hit by a neutron star, Tae-woo said with a weak grin. But I'll live. Thanks to Park's medical skills and some very stubborn human DNA, Thekvar approached the young engineer. Taewoo, I must ask you something. When you entered that reactor chamber, did you expect to survive? Taewoo thought about it. Honestly? No. I thought I was going to die. But someone had to do it, and I was the only one who knew how. Were you afraid? Terrified. But I did it anyway. Thekvar nodded slowly. That is the difference between Kethmar courage and human courage. We are brave when we know we can win. You are brave when you know you will probably lose. That's what makes humans dangerous, Morgoth added. You do not fight to win. You fight because it is right. As Earth grew larger on their screens, the crew of the Harmony's Edge prepared for a hero's welcome. They had Taos. The alarm bells rang loud across the Federation monitoring station. Commander Wu Jin ran down the metal hallway, his boots making sharp sounds on the floor. Red lights flashed everywhere. Something bad was happening. What is it? Wu Jin asked, as he entered the control room. The room was full of screens and buttons. Many aliens from different worlds worked at their stations. They all looked scared. Sir, we got a distress call, said Officer Kang Ho. His blue skin turned pale. It's from the research ship Harmony's Grace. They are in big trouble. Wu Jin looked at the big screen. It showed a map of space. There was a red dot blinking in a dark area. That area was called the Void Sector. Everyone knew that place was dangerous. Very dangerous. Where exactly are they? Wu Jin asked. Near the dying star system of Proxima 7, Kang Ho replied. Their hyperdrive broke down. They cannot move. Wu Jin felt cold fear in his stomach. The Void Sector was full of broken gravity fields and deadly radiation. Most ships could not go there and come back alive. The Harmony's Grace was trapped, in the worst place in the galaxy. How many people are on that ship? Wu Jin asked. 847 beings, said another officer. 12 different species. Some are very important diplomats going to the peace talks. The peace talks were very important. If the diplomats died, there would be war between many worlds. Wu Jin knew this could start a galaxy-wide conflict. Send the rescue fleet, Wu Jin ordered. Sir, Kang Ho said quietly. The rescue fleet cannot go there. The gravity storms will tear their ships apart. The radiation will kill everyone inside. On the main screen, they could see the Harmony's Grace. The ship was small and white, built for research, not for fighting dangerous space. It was spinning slowly, damaged and helpless. Inside the research ship, Dr. Han Na was trying to keep everyone calm. She was a smart scientist who studied alien life forms. Now she had to help keep alien life forms alive. How long do we have? Asked a tall alien with 4 arms. He was from the planet Zentari. His name was Ambassador Veltok. Our life support systems are failing, said Engineer Do-hyun. He was human, but he was scared just like everyone else. Maybe 2 days. 3 if we are lucky. What about the emergency power? Dr. Hanna asked. It is working, but not for long, Do-hyun replied. The radiation from the dying star is making everything break down faster. Dr. Hanna looked around the ship. There were beings from many worlds here. Some breathed different air. Some needed different temperatures to live. Keeping everyone alive was very hard. Back at the monitoring station, Commander Wu Jin was talking to his superiors. They were the big bosses of the Federation. The conversation was not going well. You want us to send ships where? Asked Admiral Sektar. He was from a world where people had tentacles instead of arms. The Void Sector, sir, near Proxima 7, Wu Jin replied. That is suicide, the Admiral said. We cannot lose entire rescue fleets for one ship. But sir, there are diplomats on board. If they die, it is sad. But if we send rescue ships, more will die. The answer is no. Wu Jin felt angry. He knew the Admiral was right, but it felt wrong to leave people to die. He closed the communication channel and sat down heavily in his chair. Sir, said Officer Kang Ho. I might have an idea. What is it? There is a human ship in that sector. They are mining asteroids near the edge of the void. Wu Jin looked up with surprise. Humans? What are they doing there? That place is deadly. They are humans, sir. They go to places where normal people cannot survive. Everyone in the control room became quiet. They all knew about humans. Humans came from a death world called Earth. Their planet was so dangerous that living there made them very tough. Most aliens thought humans were crazy. What kind of ship? Wu Jin asked. It is called the Iron Will. It is a mining vessel. A mining ship? That is not a rescue ship. No, sir. But it is a human ship. Human ships are different. Wu Jin knew what that meant. Human ships were built very strong. They had to be strong because humans lived on a world with bad weather, earthquakes, and dangerous animals. When humans built spaceships, they built them like tanks. Can we contact them? Wu Jin asked. I will try, sir. The communication took a long time. The void sector made talking across space very hard. Finally, a voice came through the speakers. It was deep and calm. This is Captain Li Min of the Iron Will. Who is calling? Captain, this is Federation Command. We have an emergency. We heard the distress call. We are already changing course. Wu Jin was surprised. You are going to help them? Of course. That is what you do when someone needs help. Captain, you understand the dangers? The gravity storms, the radiation? We understand. We will be there in 18 hours. The communication ended. Officer Kang Ho looked at Commander Wu Jin with wide eyes. Sir, should we tell them not to go? It is very dangerous. Wu Jin thought about this. The humans were going into the most dangerous place in the galaxy. Their mining ship was not built for rescue work, but humans were known for doing impossible things. No, Wu Jin said. Let them try. Maybe they can do what we cannot. Back on. The Harmony's grace, the situation was getting worse. The ship was shaking more. Some of the lights had stopped working. We are losing hull integrity, Do-hyun reported. The ship is falling apart. Dr. Hanna was taking care of a small alien child. The child was crying because it was scared and cold. Help is coming, she told the child softly. Someone is coming to save us. Who? Asked the child. Dr. Hanna paused. She had heard the Federation communication. She knew a human ship was coming. She also knew what most aliens thought about humans and their dangerous ships. Humans are coming, she said. The adult aliens nearby became quiet. Some looked afraid. Others looked hopeful. Everyone knew that humans were different. They came from a world so harsh that it made them very strong. Their ships were built to survive anything. Will they really come for us? Asked Ambassador Veltok. Yes, Dr. Hanna said. Humans always come. That is what they do. In the cold darkness of space, the research ship Harmony's Grace continued to drift toward the dying star. Inside, 847 beings from 12 worlds waited for rescue. They waited for a human ship called the Iron Will to do something that the entire Federation said was impossible. The humans were coming. And everyone knew that when humans came, they came to win. Commander Wu Jin sat at his desk and opened the Federation files about humans. He needed to understand what kind of help was coming. The computer screen glowed blue as information appeared. Subject: Human starships, threat assessment level. Hai Wu Jin read the first report. It was written 5 years ago by Admiral Kezra, a very experienced military officer. I have seen many strange things in space, the report said, but nothing prepared me for my first encounter with a human vessel. The ship was called Relentless. It was flying through an asteroid field that should have destroyed it. The asteroids were hitting the ship again and again. Any normal ship would have broken apart. But the human ship kept going like nothing was happening. Wu Jin continued reading. The report described how the human ship had thick armor plating everywhere. Most ships had thin hulls to save weight and go faster. Human ships were built like metal fortresses. The strangest part, Admiral Kezra wrote, was that the humans seemed happy about flying through the asteroid field. They said it was good practice for their crew. Another file caught Wu Jin's attention. This one was about human ship engineering. It was written by Dr. Nex Vol, a famous ship designer. Human starships do not make sense, the report began. They have 3 backup systems for everything. If one engine fails, they have 2 more. If those fail, they have emergency engines. If the emergency engines fail, they have something they call get-home engines. Wu Jin shook his head. Most alien ships were built to be efficient. They used the least amount of materials and energy. This kept costs low and made ships faster. But humans built ships like they expected everything to break. I asked a human engineer why they needed so many backup systems, Dr. Nexvol continued. She said, because space is trying to kill you every second of every day. I thought this was a joke. I was wrong. The next report made Wu Jin feel worried. It was about Captain Lehman himself, the same captain who was now flying to rescue the Harmony's Grace. Captain Lehman is known throughout the sector as the Iron Man, the report said. His ship, the Iron Will, has survived situations that destroyed entire fleets. 3 years ago, he flew into a solar storm to rescue miners from a broken space station. The radiation should have killed everyone on his ship. Instead, they saved 47 people and flew home. Wu Jin read more stories about Captain Lehman. The human had rescued people from exploding planets, dying space stations, and ships lost in black hole gravity fields. Other captains called these missions suicide. Captain Li Min called them Tuesday. Officer Kang Ho walked into the office. Sir, I have more information about the Iron Will. Tell me, Wu Jin said. It is not really just a mining ship. It used to be a military vessel. The humans rebuilt it for asteroid mining, but they kept all the military parts. What kind of military parts? Armor that can stop plasma cannons, shields that can handle nuclear explosions, engines that can push the ship faster than most fighters. Wu Jin felt a little better. Maybe the humans really could survive the void sector. On the Iron Will, Captain Lehman was talking to his crew. The ship was flying through space toward the dangerous rescue mission. The crew was getting ready for the hardest job they had ever done. Chief Engineer Sora, what is our ship status? Captain Lehman asked. Sora was a short woman with strong hands. She had been building and fixing ships for 20 years. All systems are running well, Captain. I have checked everything 3 times. What about the extra supplies? We have medical equipment for 12 different alien species. Emergency food that will not poison anyone. Extra air for different breathing types. Captain Lehman nodded. Human ships always carried supplies for other species. Most aliens did not do this. They only carried what they needed for their own kind. Navigator Teho, what is our route? The captain asked. Teho was studying star charts on his computer. We will have to fly through 3 gravity storms and 2 radiation fields. Most ships cannot survive this path. But we can? Yes, sir. The Iron Will is built for this kind of flying. In another part of the ship, Medical Officer Hye Jin was preparing the medical bay. She was reading about the different species on the Harmony's Grace. Some aliens got sick from human medicine. Others needed special treatments to stay alive. This is going to be difficult, she said to herself. But we will make it work. That was the human way. When something was difficult, humans worked harder. When something was impossible, humans found a way to make it possible. Back at the Federation monitoring station, more reports were coming in. Other alien ships had heard about the rescue mission. They were all saying the same thing. It was impossible. The Naxari fleet refuses to go near the void sector, reported one message. The Corvin rescue ships say the mission is suicide, said another. Commander Wu Jin felt frustrated. All these advanced civilizations with their perfect ships were afraid to help. Only the humans were willing to try. Officer Kang Ho brought him another file. Sir, you should read this. It explains why human ships are so different. The file was about Earth, the human homeworld. Wu Jin had heard stories about Earth, but he had never read the official reports. Earth is classified as a Class 12 death world. The file began. This is the highest danger rating we give to planets. Most Class 12 worlds have no intelligent life. Earth has billions of humans. The report described Earth's dangers. The weather could kill you with storms, floods, or freezing cold. The ground could shake and destroy cities. The sun could burn your skin. There were animals that could eat you, plants that could poison you, and diseases that could kill you. Humans evolved to survive all of these dangers, the report continued. This makes them very tough. It also makes them think differently about risk and safety. Wu Jin began to understand. Humans lived on a world that was always trying to kill them. So they built ships that could survive anything. They planned for every possible disaster because on Earth disasters happened all the time. Another section of the file talked about human psychology. Humans have a strong drive to help others in danger. This comes from their evolution. On Earth, working together was the only way to survive. Humans who did not help others died out long ago. This explained why Captain Li Min was flying into Tiu, the void sector. It was not just about being brave, it was about being human. The communication system buzzed. It was a message from the Iron Will. Federation Command, this is Captain Li Min. We are entering the outer edge of the void sector. Radiation levels are rising, but our shields are holding. Captain, are you sure about this? Wu Jin asked. You can still turn back. Negative, Commander. We have people to save. The Iron Will was built for missions like this. Built for missions like this? Wu Jin repeated. Yes, sir. Every human ship is built to go where others cannot go. That is our job in the galaxy. The communication ended. Wu Jin looked at all the reports on his desk. Stories of human ships doing impossible things. Stories of humans rescuing people when no one else would try. Officer Kang Ho, he said. Yes, sir. I think I understand now. The humans are not crazy. They are just human. In the darkness of space, the Iron Will flew deeper into the void sector. Behind them, the safe part of the galaxy watched and waited. Ahead of them, 847 beings waited for rescue. The humans were coming, and everyone was starting to believe that maybe, just maybe, they could do the impossible. The Iron Will arrived at the disaster zone just as the Harmony's grace began breaking apart. Captain Li Min watched the research ship through his window. Pieces of metal were floating away from the hull. The ship was dying. How much time do they have? Li Min asked. 20 minutes, maybe less, replied systems analyst Jun Seo. His fingers moved fast over his computer. Their life support is almost gone. Chief Sora, can we dock with them? Engineer Sora shook her head. No, sir. Their docking port is damaged. The ship is spinning too fast. Captain Li Min looked at the broken research ship. It was much smaller than the Iron Will. The human mining ship was big and strong, built like a metal mountain. The alien ship was delicate and beautiful, built like a flower. What if we do not dock with them? Li Min said slowly. Sir? Sora asked. What if we swallow them whole? Everyone on the bridge became quiet. They stared at their captain. Sir, that is impossible, said Navigator Teho. Is it? Li Min asked. Our cargo bay is big enough. The Harmony's grace is small enough. Sora thought about this crazy idea. The cargo bay was meant for holding asteroids and mining equipment. It was not meant for holding spaceships, but it was big enough. It might work, she said slowly. But we would have to open our cargo bay doors in the middle of a radiation storm. Can we do it? The doors are strong. They can handle it. But getting the ship inside, that will be very hard. Captain Li Min made his decision. Do it. Pilot Yunji, get us close to them. Pilot Yunji was the best pilot in the sector. She could fly through asteroid fields blindfolded. But this was different. She had to catch a spinning, broken spaceship with another spaceship. Opening cargo bay doors, announced Sora. Red lights flashed everywhere. A loud alarm rang. Opening cargo doors in space was always dangerous. Opening them in a radiation storm was suicide for most ships. But the Iron Will was not most ships. The massive doors opened like the mouth of a giant metal whale. Inside, the cargo bay was empty and waiting. Yunji, bring us alongside them, Captain Li Min ordered. The pilot's hands danced over the controls. The iron will moved like a dancer, graceful despite its huge size. Slowly, carefully, the human ship positioned itself near the spinning research vessel. Jun Seo, calculate their spin rate, Li Min said. They are spinning once every 43 seconds, Jun Seo replied. Can you match it? I can try. On the research ship, Dr. Han Na felt the iron will getting closer. She could see the huge cargo bay through a small window. It looked like a cave made of metal. What are they doing? Asked Ambassador Veltok. I think they want to put our whole ship inside theirs, Dr. Han Na said. Is that possible? With humans, anything is possible. Engineer Do Hyun was trying to help from his ship. The Harmony's Grace had no power for engines, but it still had some control systems. I can slow our spin a little, he told the humans over the radio. Do it, Captain Li Min replied. Back on the Iron Will, rescue specialist Min Ho was getting ready for the hardest part. Once they got the research ship inside, he would have to connect the two ships together. This meant going outside in a spacesuit during a radiation storm. Min Ho, are you ready? Captain Li Min asked. Yes, sir. My suit can handle the radiation for 30 minutes. You will have 15 minutes. After that, we pull you back inside. Understood, Captain. Pilot Yunji lined up the two ships. The Iron Will had to move at exactly the right speed and direction. Too fast, and they would crash. Too slow, and the research ship would spin away. Beginning approach, Yunji announced. The Iron Will moved forward. The spinning research ship came closer and closer to the open cargo bay. Everyone held their breath. Contact in 10 seconds. Jun Seo counted down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Harmony's Grace slipped into the cargo bay of the Iron Will like a hand going into a glove. It was a perfect fit. Close the doors, Captain Li Min shouted. The massive cargo bay doors began to close. As they sealed shut, the radiation levels inside dropped to safe levels. Min-ho, go, Li Min ordered. Min-ho ran to the cargo bay. He put on his spacesuit and grabbed his welding tools. Inside the cargo bay, the research ship was still spinning, but much slower now. Min-ho jumped from his ship to the research ship. His magnetic boot stuck to the hull. He began welding emergency connection ports between the two ships. Connecting power lines. Min-ho reported over his radio. Sparks flew as he worked. The welding torch cut through metal like butter. Min-ho had done this kind of work many times, but never while both ships were moving. Connecting airlines, he continued. This was the most important part. The research ship was running out of air. The people inside needed fresh oxygen from the Iron Will. Connection complete, Min-ho announced. Chief Engineer So-ra began pumping air and power to the research ship. Slowly, the lights inside the Harmony's Grace began to get brighter. On the research ship, Dr. Hanna felt fresh air flowing through the vents. She heard the hum of new power flowing through the ship's systems. We did it, she whispered. Then louder, we did it. The alien passengers began to cheer. They had been saved by the impossible rescue. The humans had caught their entire ship, like catching a ball. But the job was not finished yet. Both ships were now inside the dangerous void sector. They still had to get home. Sora, what is our status? Captain Li Min asked. We are overloaded, the engineer replied. Carrying their ship is slowing us down. Our engines are working very hard. Can we make it home? Yes, but it will be close. We are using more fuel than planned. Do it, get us out of here. The Iron Will began to move. With the research ship inside its cargo bay, it was much heavier. The engines worked harder than they ever had before. Navigator Taeho plotted a course home. Sir, I found a path through the gravity storms. It is dangerous, but it is the fastest way out. Take it. The combined ships flew through space like a metal mountain with a treasure inside. Behind them, the radiation storms raged. Ahead of them was safety. In the cargo bay, the passengers of the Harmony's Grace looked around in wonder. They were inside a human ship. The walls were thick metal. Everything was built to last forever. It was so different from their own ships. This is how humans build things, Dr. Hanna explained to the children. strong and safe. Ambassador Veltok walked around the cargo bay. He had never seen engineering like this. Every bolt was twice as big as it needed to be. Every wire was protected by thick coverings. They build for the worst day possible, he said with respect. Dr. Hanna nodded. That is why they could save us. Their ship can do things that our ships cannot do. The journey home began. The humans had done the impossible. They had rescued 847 beings from certain death. But the real test was still coming. They had to get everyone home safely. The reputation of human ships was about to become legend. A test the Iron Will had ever faced. Captain Li Min stood on his bridge watching the stars. The ship was carrying much more weight than it was designed for. Every system was working at maximum power. Engine status report. Li Min called out. Engines at 110% capacity, replied Chief Engineer Sora. We are pushing them harder than they have ever been pushed. Will they hold? They are human engines, Captain. They will hold. In the cargo bay, the passengers from the Harmonies, Grace, were learning what it meant to travel on a human ship. The ride was rough and loud. The human ship did not glide smoothly through space like alien vessels. It pushed through space like a bulldozer. Dr. Hanna was helping take care of the injured passengers. Medical Officer Hye Jin had set up a temporary hospital in the cargo bay. She was treating 12 different species with 12 different medical needs. How do you know so much about alien medicine? Dr. Hanna asked. All human ships carry medical data for other species, Hye Jin replied. We never know who we might need to help. That is very wise. That is very human, Hye Jin corrected with a smile. Ambassador Veltok was walking around the cargo bay, studying everything. He had traveled on many ships from many worlds, but he had never seen anything like this. The human ship was built differently. Where alien ships had one system to do each job, the human ship had 3 or 4 systems. Where alien ships used the lightest materials, the human ship used the strongest materials. Why do you build everything so big and strong? He asked Engineer Youngie. Youngie was checking the connections between the two ships. Because space is dangerous, she said simply. If something breaks, people die, so we make sure nothing breaks. But this makes your ship slower and more expensive. Better slow and alive than fast and dead. Back on the bridge, Navigator Taeho was plotting their course through the dangerous space. They had to avoid gravity storms, radiation fields, and asteroid clusters. With the extra weight, the ship could not turn as quickly as normal. Captain, we have a problem, Taeho announced. What is it? There is a gravity storm directly in our path. Normally we could go around it, but with the extra weight we do not have enough fuel to take the long way. Captain Lehman studied the navigation display. The gravity storm was like a whirlpool in space. It could crush ships that got too close. Can we go through it? Sir, that would be very dangerous. The storm could tear both ships apart. But can we do it? Taeho thought about this. The Iron Will was built strong. Its hull could take punishment that would destroy other ships. The research ship inside the cargo bay was protected by the human ship's thick walls. Maybe, he said. Finally. If everything goes perfectly. When has everything ever gone perfectly? Captain Lehman asked with a grin. Never, sir. Then we will do what humans always do. We will make it work anyway. The Iron Will flew into the gravity storm. Immediately the ship began to shake. The gravity waves pulled at the hull, trying to tear it apart. Warning alarms rang throughout the ship. In the cargo bay, the passengers held on tight. The research ship bounced around inside the larger ship, like a toy in a box. What is happening? Ambassador Veltok asked, fear in his voice. The humans are doing something impossible again, Dr. Hanna replied. She sounded calm, but she was holding on tight too. On the bridge, Captain Li Min watched his ship's systems. Everything was in the red zone. The engines were overheating. The hull was under enormous stress. Any normal ship would have broken apart already. Hull integrity at 85%, reported systems analyst Jun Seo. Engine temperature critical, added Sora. Navigation systems failing, said Taeho. Captain Li Min listened to all the bad news. Then he smiled. Pilot Yunji, take us through the center of the storm. Sir? Yunji asked. The center is always the calmest part of any storm. Earth taught us that. Yunji changed course. The iron will dove deeper into the gravity storm. For a moment, the shaking got worse, then, suddenly it stopped. They were in the eye of the storm. The space around them was calm and peaceful. All systems stabilizing, Junseo reported with amazement. Engine temperature dropping to normal, Sora added. Navigation systems back online, Taeho confirmed. The ship flew through the calm center of the storm. Within an hour, they were on the other side, back in normal space. That was incredible, Ambassador Veltok said to Dr. Hanna. How did they know to do that? Humans understand storms, she replied. Their planet has many storms. They learn to work with them, not fight them. As they got closer to Federation space, word of the rescue spread. Other ships began to escort them home. News reporters wanted to interview the crew. Scientists wanted to study how the rescue was possible. But Captain Li Min and his crew just wanted to get their passengers to safety. Commander Wu Jin was waiting at the space station when the Iron Will arrived. He watched through the window as the huge human ship docked. It looked beaten up from the journey. Its hull was scratched and dented, but it was intact. The cargo bay doors opened. Inside, the research ship Harmony's Grace sat safely. All 847 passengers were alive and well. How did you do it? Wu Jin asked Captain Li Min when they met. We did what needed to be done, Li Min replied simply. But the void sector, the gravity storms, the radiation. Commander, we are humans. We come from a world that tries to kill us every day. We build our ships to survive anything, and we never leave people behind. Over the following weeks, the story of the rescue spread throughout the galaxy. The alien passengers became ambassadors for humanity. They told everyone about the humans who risked everything to save strangers. Ambassador Veltok spoke at the Federation Council. I have traveled to many worlds, he said. I have seen many wonders. But I have never seen anything like human courage and human engineering working together. Dr. Hanna wrote a report about the rescue. The humans did not just save our lives, she wrote. They showed us what is possible when you refuse to give up. The peace talks went ahead as planned. The rescued diplomats worked even harder to create agreements between worlds. They had seen what could be accomplished when different species worked together. Captain Li Min and the crew of the Iron Will returned to their mining work. They did not want parades or medals. They just wanted to get back to their jobs. But the galaxy would never forget what they had done. The story became legend. Children on 100 worlds heard about the humans who flew into the most dangerous place in space to save people they had never met. And whenever anyone said that something was impossible, someone else would say, "Tell that to the humans." In the deepest, darkest, most dangerous parts of space, human ships continued their work, mining asteroids, exploring new worlds, and always ready to help when others were in trouble. Because that is what humans do. They go where others cannot go. They do what others cannot do. And they never ever leave anyone behind. The humans' dangerous ships kept coming, and the galaxy was safer because of it.